Okie dokie, congratulations to both teams for making it to quarterfinals of the Parley TOC. It is a 2-1 for the app. Congratulations, everyone. So I sat. All right, so I spot the argument that discourse shapes perception, though I'm not sure how comfortable I am with doing that. I also spot the argument that discourse is binding, so the neg's discourse doesn't go away and they are accountable for it. However, I don't think that discourse comes before theory insofar as the neg POO is right that this is contradictory with the MG position on this issue and is also quite transparent on the fairness first question, at least with regards to fairness versus discourse. The PMR argument that assuming presumption flows neg is implicated by the paradox means I have to look for a theoretical reason why presumption would flow to either side, even if I don't think that theory matters since, someone has to win. Looking to the standards debate determining whether or not neg gets presumption, I have the PMR we did the math argument, but conceded weighing that this is from a singular round, whereas the neg standards appeal to the structural skews of flow debate in general. The neg more or less has the only argument in the round actually implicating how to presume. Sure, I can't evaluate whether it's true or false, but I have to find a base premise somewhere to avoid infinite regress and quite simply losing my mind. So neg gets presumption. Now comes the question of whether the paradox to presumption question is one. I think the MG is plenty transparent that they are choosing to operate under the neg's ROB. The neg concedes that nibs link to security. However, I don't have an impact to security extended. So when evaluating the totality of implications of the asked justifications, there really isn't an implication to evaluate. Additionally, the MG impact turns security, so I'm not super sure what to do with this. I hate to even consider something like that, but I more or less have to protect the block on this question. Moreover, the block is quite clear about how the paradox implicates my ability to evaluate those implications in the first place. So I vote neg on presumption because I can do nothing but consider the paradox correct, from which it follows that I presume neg. This round would have been much easier for the neg, I think, if the K-kick were literally any cleaner. Like, say the paradox means you can't evaluate the reasons to prefer the ROB, and I think this PMR is totally precluded. But yeah, that's me. So.
Would you like to go first, or I can?
Can I get a quick question?
Sure.
So I know you're kind of familiar with this argument. What is a good response to it, in case we hit it? It's like, it seems like just
I don't know that I've ever
like,
responded to it.
Can I?
Sure.
I think you just say the problem with the argument is based on a false understanding of how a heap works. Words are not like binary like this, right? Just because something's a heap, it can be a bigger heap or a smaller heap, and it goes away into a continuum. It's a flaw with the construction of the English language that prevents us from understanding the actual true value of these claims.
Yeah, it's a problem with predicates. The other thing is,
so I guess in the MG, if I just ran independent DNG terms, or if I just ran critical terms on this, would that be sufficient?
I mean, that just kind of depends on what the block does, but I think that, yeah, generating offense on this specifically would be good. Another argument that you can say is that we don't have a bright line for whether someone is bald or not, but we kind of know whether or not someone's bald. We don't have a specific number of hairs, right? So that kind of resolves the repeated application of premise 2 question. Yeah, but there you go.
All right, so I'll go ahead and speak second. There are competing presumption claims in the debate operating on multiple levels that make the nib sheets impossible for me to evaluate. The negative asks me to vote on presumption because that's how presumption works, and the affirmative asks me to vote ath on the presumption as a response to the paradox. However, the negative pulls through the claim that everything is simultaneously true and false at equal levels, and I don't find any differential between the truth claims of these competing claims for presumption ballots. It's washed from the absent for analysis from either team. I'm not comfortable with this, but no one is making these arguments clear in their rebuttals. I feel like I'm throwing my hands up on this one, but that's because nobody's doing analysis in their rebuttals why one presumption claim trumps another. I feel like calling it anything other than a wash would be a form of judge intervention that I'm not comfortable with. I end up voting affirmative because the affirmative pulls through the link here and then a reason, and the relinks is a reason why the methodology is superior with regard to securitization. The relinks are not reliant on the alternative, so kicking it is insufficient to escape this. I would have liked to see a cleaner collapse on the negative with regard to the criticism, answering back the relinks and stuff like that.
You evaluate the argument that you can't evaluate the K because the truth doesn't exist?
I mean, I think that the simultaneously true and false argument means that it is as true as it is false, so I don't grant that application to this.
Why does generate offense both true and false?
At the point where no one's making differential claims with regard to the truth and the falsity, I just err on the side of, how do I say it? I guess it's a risk argument, right? If it is as equally true as it is false, I grant it through risk. That there is a risk it is true.
Okay, so yeah, obviously voted for the neg. So the neg, you guys tell me, you tell me to vote with you guys because I don't know what's true and I don't know what's false, so I should vote neg on presumption. So I haven't heard any of these arguments before, so I'm going off of just on what I'm hearing in this round. So just from there, now you guys tell me that paradox comes before, prior to the theory. Then I evaluate what the affirmative has. So you guys come up and say, you guys use like the same paradox and say, no, you're right. I should believe you instead, and and that I should believe you, and that discourse shapes epistemology. And then you guys also tell me that epistemology helps the suffering people, that your impacts can help suffering people, and that discourse shapes presumption. So with all that being said, you guys use that paradox, and you're telling me to vote for you, and I end up voting for you because you say, hey, you should believe me, and that's what came out. I voted for the affirmative.
Thank you.
That's the last one.